Hello viewers, welcome to our TV program Discover Turkey, but we are discovering this time Middle East. Last time we discovered Europe and we made about 11,000 kilometers from Anatolia till Andalusia. But this time we discovered Syria. We went to Syrian border and also inside of Syria, and I'm going to share with you what's really going on in Syria and with the Western countries' policies in there. And unfortunately, some Western media, Western televisions, Western channels, they are showing Turkey and the Turkish army killing Kurds in Syria. That is completely wrong and misinformation. Some Western media, they had shown wrong photos from different parts of the world, and they had shown Turkey and Turkish army doing massacre in Syria, but this is not true. In fact, Turkish army went to northern Syria to stop ISIS and also PKK's branch in Syria, YPG. These two terrorist organizations were supported by Western countries. Their citizens came to Syria to fight. A lot of ISIS fighters are from Western countries' citizens, and now they are fighting inside of Syria to build Islamic country, they say, so-called Islamic country. In fact, we know the leader of this terrorist organization, Abu Bakr, is not really Abu Bakr. He is normally Western agent. And also, when we look at YPG, supported by the Western countries, 5,000 containers full of weapons were sent to northern Syria. 5,000 containers. This amount is too much. This is not only for ISIS. This was creating a so-called country inside of Syria, dividing Syria as well, and using this country against Turkey, and also dividing Turkey as well. Of course, Turkey wouldn't permit this kind of plans in Syria and other parts of Middle East. That is why in northern Syria, Turkish army went there and finished ISIS in the north of Syria, and also the terrorist organization YPG and also its supporters were withdrawn back to inside of Syria from the north, and Turkish peace attack to in North North Syria, and now Turkish army and also the Free Syrian Army soldiers controlled the area, and also the people in the North Syria are happy because Turkish army and also Free Syrian Army together behaving the people in the north well, and also giving food and also helping, also health assistance are being given to the people living in the North Syria. I by myself went to Syria and also to see all these things, and I want to share what I have filmed in the border and also behind the border of Syria. Please let's listen the videos, then we will keep on speaking. Hello viewers, welcome to our TV program Discover Turkey. We are now in between Turkey and Syrian border. This is the last village from Kilis to Syrian border. Right behind of me you can see the Turkish government made a big wall in between Turkey and also
Syria. You can see the wall is all the way long to stop the illegal entry to Turkey. And a long time ago, behind of me was controlled. That part of Syria was controlled of terrorist organization YPG, and but Turkey got control of that area also, that part of Syria. Turkish Army and the Free Syrian Army cleaned away from all the terrorist organizations YPG. YPG evacuated all the that area. Afrin area is called as Afrin, and now there is peace in Afrin. Sometimes terrorist organization YPG is trying to bomb and kill innocent Kurdish people in there, but the Turkish security forces and the Free Syrian Army are controlling very well and stopping terrorist movements of YPG. YPG was supported by all the Western countries. They sent 5,000 container full of weapons, and saying that YPG is fighting against ISIS. Normally they didn't fight against ISIS, they did nothing about ISIS, because in Raqqa, while ISIS militants, terrorists evacuated from the city, they did nothing for them. And the ISIS militants went to some other countries under the control of YPG and other Western countries' soldiers. And now Turkey started another peace operation against YPG in northern Syria to control and to clean all the terrorist attacks from Syria, North Syria. Because sometimes they were sending rockets to Turkish villages and also cities, and now they can't do this because all the northern parts are in Afrin, and also Jarablus, where was taken from ISIS also. The terrorist movements and terrorist attacks were stopped. And we are waiting for the special permission of Kilis governor. Inshallah, when we take the permission to entry in the war zone in Syria, in the north part of Syria, Azaz, we are planning to visit that city. As soon as we get the permission, inshallah, we are going to make a video from inside of Syria, not from the border only. Thank you very much for listening and being with us. Please stay with Natural TV and learn the realities. Hello viewers, welcome to our TV program Discover Turkey. We are discovering Middle East this time. We are nearby Syrian border, and we just crossed the border of Syria by the permission. What we can say about here, unfortunately, a lot of Western media is giving wrong information, misinformation about Turkish army killing the Kurds, they say. And in fact, Turkish army is not killing Kurds, it's fighting against the terrorist organization of PKK, and its branch is YPG in Syria. And unfortunately, these terrorist organizations have been supported by Western countries. 5,000 container full of weapons were sent by the Western countries, just saying fighting against ISIS. In fact, ISIS was also supported by the Western countries just to justify PKK and also the YPG in the area, because they want to build a country which was controlled by the Western countries. That is why they are doing this kind of propaganda against Turkey and the Turkish army as well. Turkish army is not only doing these operations by itself, also Free Syrian Army, democratic forces of Syrian groups also together with Turkey, and they are not making any massacre. Definitely they are fighting against ISIS and PKK. This must be noted very well. And thank you very much for listening. Please follow our social media accounts. Bye.
Yes. What is really happening in Syria? Why is this happening? You know, Turkey and the Turkish people, when we started living in Anatolia, living in Anatolia since 1071, Anno Domini. Unfortunately, the Western countries, they didn't want us in Anatolia. They always try to take us back to Central Asia. Yes, we came here, but also we brought our civilization and peace as well. During the time of Ottoman Empire never touched the people's religion and also culture. Always helped them to keep on their own faith. A few weeks ago, Moldovan president came to Turkey and he wanted to see the sword of Sultan Süleyman. And our president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, gave him this opportunity. As soon as he saw the Moldovan president, as soon as he saw the sword of Sultan Süleyman, he kissed the sword of Süleyman. And he said, a long time ago, Sultan Süleyman came to Moldova. He protected us. He protected our women, children, and also our country from other nations. So that's why we are still speaking Moldovan language. That's why we have Christianity today. And we thank to Sultan Süleyman the Magnificent and also his great tolerance. Since the history of Anatolia and the Ottoman Empire started in Europe, I underline this. Please read the history very well. You can see Ottoman Empire always supported different cultures, different languages. He got the other countries just to stop the violence in those countries because the feudal system was doing very bad for the people living in that area. They were taking the food, but they are not giving back money. Feudals were taking only. The feudals were not giving. And Ottoman Empire, when controlled all the lands in Eastern Europe, in Middle East, and also in North Africa, always brought these countries peace. Unfortunately, Western propaganda against not only for Ottoman Empire, but also Turkey, are still going on. And today we see also Western media is doing really bad things and giving misinformation, wrong information about Turkey and the Turkish army in Syria. When we look at also Libya, what happened in Libya, that is because of the Western countries. What happened in Venezuela, even in Venezuela and Bolivia, all those things are happening just because of the Western media, just for stealing gold, oil, this kind of natural sources. They want to do the same thing in Turkey, but we will never let this happen. Thank you very much for listening to and watching also Natural TV. Please stay with us and learn realities about Turkey, Europe, and the world. See you.